Hi you guys, my name is Naisha and welcome to Motherhood Made Simple. Today we're going to do a day in the life, the homeschool edition. So the first thing that the kids do is they wake up, they take their showers, they get dressed for the day, and then we roll into morning chores. Usually by the time while they're doing their morning chores, I begin to make breakfast for them. Alright, so this is Andre's breakfast. It's the breakfast sandwich you just saw me make, some oranges, and then I have his morning meds here for him to take. This is Amir's breakfast, same thing. Breakfast sandwich is oranges, and this is mommy's breakfast, coffee. I usually don't eat breakfast, I eat later on in the day, but I do have coffee first thing every morning. Alright, this is the Bible that we use for Bible every morning. We usually do Bible first thing. The kids will eat breakfast while we read the Bible, and then what I like to do is I'll have one of the kids find a correlating Bible cartoon on YouTube to watch, and then we watch that after we read the story that we're on. Today we're on what story, Dre?
94.
On page 94. So today's story we're going to read is Balaam's Talking Donkey. So I'll have the kids take turns reading this. Amir first, Andre, Amir, and then Andre, and then we'll watch the video. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna read?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Balaam got up, saddled his donkey, and started off with the Moabite officials, but God was angry that Balaam was going, so he sent an angel of the Lord to stand in the road to block his way.
Tried to squeeze by and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved farther down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to be by at all. This time when
After the reading, we go into watching our video, and I was able to find one on YouTube, like I previously said. I like watching the cartoons because it just reinforces what we just read, and I love the message of this one. This Bible story that we read today, it says here, we worship God when we follow his instructions, and I just love that for the kids. Okay, so after breakfast, after we do Bible and have breakfast, we usually break off, and then we will go into doing our math. Andre's going to do teaching textbooks on the laptop, and then I'm going to work with Amir doing some math drills on a dry erase board. And then after that, I have a fun language arts project that we're going to do together. So the kids and I have been learning about different types of poetry. So today we're going to work on, I don't know if it's acrostic or acoustic poetry. It's the one where you take a word and you spell it out, and then you make a sentence to complete each beginning of each letter. I'll show you in a second. But what I thought would be fun is if we make it like a song, because when I think of poetry, I think of rap music. I don't know why, it's just like what popped in my head. So what I'm gonna have the kids do is write out their own acrostic or acoustic poem, and then we're gonna use Amir's Osmo kit. He has the one where you can make like the beats or make the music. I'm gonna have them make beats or beats to go with the poetry song that they create. So in my mind, I think it's a great idea, but I'll run it by the kids and see what they want to do. So in the back, you'll see Andre, my 12-year-old, is starting his teaching textbooks, and I'm currently working on math drills with my youngest son, Amir, who is 6. Now, we've done these math drills before. We usually do them as like a warm-up every morning to kind of get his brain going for his math, but we haven't done school in about 6 weeks because my oldest son, Andre, has had a lot of medical problems lately, so I've been devoting a lot of time towards that. So I just think that Amir just kind of forgot, how to do the math. Like, I know he knows how to do it, but he just forgot, and he just got really, really frustrated. So what I did was I just, erased the board and slowly went over the math problems with him to just kind of get his brain going and help him remember how to do them.
You remember that? I told you then that there were actually 2 ways of doing that problem. You can either take 560 times 1/4, or you can also just divide 560 by 4. We went ahead and multiplied by the fraction 1/4 because that's what the lesson was about. But dividing by 4 will work too. And the reason is that dividing by 4 is mathematically the same as
I'm doing divide by fractions.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's actually
Yeah,
based
Mom.
on
I can see it. So right now.
divide by any number,
You did it.
4, that's the same as multiplying.
You did it.
by
So why are you so stressed out?
upside down.
Because you haven't done math in a long time?
6 4 over 1, then 1
All right, let's do one more. See you guys tomorrow. I think the biggest takeaway here is just instilling confidence in your kids. When they get frustrated, just, slow things down and just reassure them that they can figure it out if they're having a hard time.
Why don't you figure out the reciprocal of 3/5?
And all the plus turn into like dead skin. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is the reciprocal of 3 and 5? Basically.
Smile. You feel better now? You knew how to do it. You just forgot.
So the reciprocal of 3 and 5 will be 1/15, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're,
Mm-hmm. I just said mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoops, I said
The biggest advice I can give anyone who's homeschooling right now or schooling at home because of everything that's going on is that if you can, I know if you're doing like a school curriculum online, you can't really take breaks and stuff like that. But if you're doing like your own homeschool curriculum that you've kind of like put together, if your kids are having a bad day, just take a break and relax and try to find something educational to do. Because if your kids are, extremely frustrated, no matter what you're trying to teach them, they're not going to absorb it. It's not going to go in because they're just so frustrated. So sometimes you may need to take a break, watch a documentary on TV, or just, read them a book, or, pick up a fun game, or find some alternate way to get, to educate them, but just maybe not what you were intending on doing. It has to be the biggest lesson I've learned lately is that I'm a really structured person. And lately I've just had to, just give myself grace and just do what I can when I can. So while Amir's over there doing his handwriting, I'm going over to check on Andre just to make sure that, he's good and he doesn't need my help. And the one big thing that has changed is that this year Andre doesn't need much of my help with anything. He's been doing a lot of self-taught learning and, learning on his own, and he doesn't need me like sitting over him and making sure that everything is done. And this hasn't always been the case. I used to have to do homeschool with Andre in the morning and then Amir in the afternoon, but now I'm able to kind of jump back and forth between the two kids. Now there's Palm over there on the counter, you'll see, and now he's using his Code & Dram Osmo kit to work on his beat.
Okay, yep.
So Amir is dancing because he's happy that he just created the beat that he likes. And I try to utilize his Osmo whenever I can. And it's even, you can use it for older kids too, because Andre is 12 and Amir is 6, but I'm able to use it for both. This, allows them to be creative. They're doing a little bit of coding. So it was like a win-win situation. I really liked this activity and they loved it as well. Now, after the coding session with Andre, he started to feel a little under the weather. So he finishes homeschool in bed, which happens sometimes, with him doing chemo, he just doesn't feel up to it. So we allowed him to rest and take a nap. And then the final thing we did for this homeschool day, because both kids were kind of like over it. It was our first day back in a while. So I just wanted to do something fun with them. So I allowed them to make cookies, and I didn't help them at all with this. I just gave them the box. We had this leftover cookie kit from Halloween, and I just had them go at it and make it. Now, I like things like this for a bunch of reasons. One, the kids have to work together, which is great because they're brothers and they love to fight. Two, they have to read. They have to read the instructions and follow, the instructions on the back of the box. So I love that. And then they get to be creative because at the end they're going to decorate the cookies. So if you're looking for something fun to do, have your kids cook, have them bake with you or make a meal. You don't think about that being like an educational activity, but it definitely is. Like I said, this homeschool day is not a typical one for us. It was actually a really light homeschool day. It was our first day back homeschooling in a while. So I didn't want to press it. I just wanted to kind of, slowly jump back into things, see how the kids felt, see where we were, So, we just did a little bit of math, a quick little language arts lesson, and then, I had them bake cookies. The next day that we do homeschool, I'll add another, a couple more subjects in depending on how we feel. But I like to play it by ear. If I can't get them to do worksheets and things like that, then I always try to do something fun with them, like an educational game or some cooking, or we'll watch some documentaries. So, I just kind of let them lead me into however they want to learn that day on most days. All right, so these are what the cookies are looking like, and I guess you guys can tell from this video here, Andre is my neat artistic child, and Amir is definitely my wild child, but I love them both. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a quick representation of a relaxed homeschool day. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave any questions or comments you have below. We'll see you again for the next one. Bye.